How old are you, bro?
12.
Hit the reefer, bro. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. What is that? How old you is?
I'm 14.
Hit the reefer. Enjoy it. Get high. Embrace it. Yup. No, inhale it. Inhale it. You gotta suck it in. Yeah. Yeah. You wanna hit it again? Yeah. Inhale that bitch. Swallow the smoke. Yeah. Yeah. I fuck with you. Fuck with you.
YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. This video right here comes straight out of somebody's house. Where the hell this house at? The hell if I know. But from what I see in the video, what was done in the video was very troublesome and wrong at the same time. And a lot of you all might be, well, why is that, Trey? Some of you all who got better sense understand exactly what I'm saying. It's the fact that, would you want your 12-year-old or your 14-year-old son or daughter smoking marijuana, weed, aka cannabis, kush, OG kush, triple OG kush? Would you want your child indulging in the sativa, if you will? Now, I know a lot of you parents will be saying right now to yourselves, hell no, Trey. Why would I want my child smoking weed? You know, and the sad thing about the whole video is the fact that it's an adult there, because it sounds like an adult, even though it sounds like a high-ass drugged out crackhead, if you will, because every time these little kids was hitting this damn joint, this blunt, and he was basically telling them, no, you got to swallow it, you got to inhale it, basically, you know, giving them the blueprint to the game, if you will. Now, I don't know what kind of guy this is, but evidently he's not wrapped too tight. You know, maybe he has a couple of screws on loose, if you will. But one thing about it, you do not want your child indulging in these kind of activities at 12, 14 years old. Now, I know a lot of us, you know, smoked when we was young, whether it was cigarettes. Like, I used to steal cigarettes from my uncles when I was young, and my aunties too. I used to steal cigarettes, even though they used to try to catch me and beat the hell out of me. They only caught me twice, and I stole them about 30 times. Anyway, they didn't know all that. They do now. But at the same time, you know, it's you're gonna do things when you're growing up. But at the same time, now one of my aunties or uncles offered me a cigarette, or any other adult, you know. And when I was going around people that was smoking weed when I was a kid, you know, because we didn't know what it smelled like. We just knew it smelled like pine cone, pine saw, and so it smelled real funny, you know, back then, you know, thinking about it now in retrospect. And, you know, we were like, that stuff stank. You feel what I'm saying? Just like some of you all might say a Black and Mild, for those of you who know what the Black and Mild little cigar is. It have that strong odor to it, and you can't be distinguished from anything else. So, you know, when we seen these things when we was young, we used to get away from it, shy away from it, because we wanted to go play, you know, we want to go eat lemon heads, Boston baked beans, airheads, jungle juice, stuff like that. You feel me? We wasn't worried about trying to sit back and smoke no marijuana or anything like that, even though we did it later on. But that was done by, you know, people around my age, my own peers. It wasn't done by no adult. That's just like if you chilling in a park on a playground, you know, how we used to do it and stuff when we was kids, you know. So if somebody come over there that's an adult and they offer you a joint or a cigarette, you know, would you take it? You know, especially in this day and age, just think of you a child, because you never know what all they slipping inside these cigars, these blunts you be smoking behind people, or even cigarettes, but especially the cigars, because ain't too many people going to get no cigarette and break it down. You know how you do it, break it down and you flip it into another cigarette or whatever else. You're not going to do that with no cigarette, but a cigar you will. Most of the people just buy just for the leaf so they can fill it up with that good stuff, if you will. Now, would you, as a grown person, take something from somebody else that offered it to you, and you don't know where the hell this shit come from? You like, this might be laced with something. It might be laced with PCP or anything, because I know a lot of people, even at drinks at parties, have got slipped Mickeys and everything else, and those guys' minds, they haven't been right since. So what I want to ask the people right here is the fact that I understand that we live in a society where you can pretty much do anything and get them up and get away with a lot of stuff until people call it out. Because it's funny, you know, everything is cool until people start calling it out, especially the bloggers. That's why it's important, you know, if you got a good platform and you got a good blogging site, and you can, you know, articulate yourself well enough to get your point across, that when you see certain things, to put it on blast. Because one thing about it, that could be your child, that could be your son or daughter, and you might be at work working hard. Just say if you at work working hard and you leaving your younger sibling around them, you know, but they grown though, you know, they might be in their 20s, 18, 19, 25 years old. Would you want your younger sibling, you know, giving drugs to your children. And then at the same time, you gotta understand that's gonna create a habit. Then once your child develop that habit, who's gonna feed that habit? And just like anything else that has a habit, it's gonna find some kind of way to quench that thirst. Just no different than a crackhead going out there, doing whatever, stealing, selling their body, or whatever the hell is, selling their last cheeseburger, whatever the hell is for some drugs. Your child will start stealing from you and everything else if you start this habit. Because trust me, once they get addicted to that marijuana, and it's very addicted, especially to a young mind. You got older people right now who could barely stop. So imagine what a young, naive, fresh mind is what it's going to do to that. It's going to straight blow it out the water. So, back to what I was saying, like when we was young, like the first time I smoked marijuana that I can remember, and I'm not going to lie, I was 13 years old. We was in the playground with me, a couple of my friends, so we just sitting around talking and everything, and a guy named Quincy was like 2 years older than us, and he came out with this little white, I thought it was a cigarette. I'm like, man, I don't smoke cigarettes. And me and my buddy, like, we don't smoke cigarettes. We too busy around there raising hell, causing trouble in the hood, because that's just how we was then. We wasn't to the point bad shooting, killing nobody. We wasn't like that, because I'm not finna hurt nobody. I'm not gonna kill nothing. I'm not gonna let nothing die. But anything else between that, we with it. You feel what I'm saying? So we all sitting around. I'm like, man, I don't want no damn Newport or no Cool, because that's what saw most of the people in the hood smoke. So you're like, nah, man, this ain't no Newport or no Cool. So I'm like, well, damn, what is it then? So he lit them up, and I'm like, is that weed? You know what I'm saying? He said, why you say it like that? I said, what the hell I supposed to say? He said, well, call it something else, Mary Jane or something else. Don't say weed. That sound very crazy how you said it like that. That's just like if you chilling somewhere, somebody say, man, is that weed? You can be like, weed, nigga, are you the police? Are you the cops? So anyway, everybody hitting it. I was like third or fourth in line because I wasn't trying to hit it first. I'm trying to see how they gonna react to it. So I'm looking at them and stuff, and this where peer pressure come in at. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was the leader of the pack, like my boy Riff Raff, and for you all who don't know who Riff Raff is, go check out the Little Rascals and you'll know who I'm talking about. So anyway, so I'm looking at my homies hitting and stuff. So it comes around to me and I go like that. They're like, oh no, you got the inhaler. You got the inhaler. So I hit that juggle. I hit it again. And I must have hold, and Quincy said, hold it in. So I held it in for like 10 seconds. I'm just like that, just looking crazy all around and everything. And everybody looking at me. And all of a sudden, like when I exhale, it's just like when you wake up in the morning, when I used to smoke cigarettes, even though, I'm glad I'm getting away from that habit also. But like when I used to smoke cigarettes in the morning, how you wake up and you hit that first pull, it might blow your mind. You might go, like, you feel like you somewhere, feel like a high done came over you. I'm serious. Some of them cigarettes, are strong as hell. So anyway, it felt the same way when I hit that damn blunt. It was a joint, it wasn't really a blunt. And the difference between the joint and the blunt, it's just the size, that's all. So anyway, but it was a strong ass weed. I'm like, God, dog, where the hell did he get that weed from? But I didn't think about that till about like a couple of days later when I came down. It took me like a whole day to come down because it's my first time ever, actually sitting there, in trying to inhale and stuff, even though it was hard as hell. Just like when we used to try to be cool when we used to smoke cigarettes, we wouldn't inhale, we would blow that shit right back out, you feel me? But they sitting there looking at me and I couldn't, I had my stripes on the line, my balls was on the line, so I had to represent for the hood. So anyway, so I'm like this and I go, and it just feel like my soul done came out of me. I'm just sitting at the park just like this, looking around at everybody just like this. I'm like, man, I'm just sitting there. I don't think I remember just saying, man, we say that a lot in Texas, man, even though you don't hardly say it no more. Matter of fact, big shout out to Big Mo for coining that song, man. So I'm like, man, what the hell going on? And all of a sudden, what I'm saying, I looked around like this and like the whole sky just flipped on me. And I started looking at my friends' faces. They got all kinds of crazy faces. So I'm like, I'm hungry. I got to go eat something. You feel me? I wanted a hamburger. You feel me? So we all, after everybody get their little high on everything. And matter of fact, this was my first time in like 2 or 3 more of my buddies the first time. Some of them other guys, they was already out there wild, but we try to conserve ourselves because we played sports and everything even when we was young. In middle school, high school, we played sports. So the one that was playing sports like me and my boy Tony and a lot of other people I'm not going to name, I don't want to incriminate nobody, even though it's been some years ago. We wasn't, heavy in the streets like that, which means we wasn't smoking cigarettes really. We'll sneak and smoke every now and then, or for instance, smoking that joint. It was our first time. Well, it was mine. It was Tony. I could tell because they had them what they call virgin lungs. You just start coughing your ass. I'm like, So anyway, some of the other guys been smoking weed. It wasn't no problem to them. They were laughing at us. So I remember the story, and you can imagine, you know, the tie that in with this story right here. I know those kids was high as hell. They was smoking a full damn blunt. And like I said, one of the little boy was 12. The little girl happened to be, I think she said 14, maybe 13, but I think she said 14. And you do not need to be experiencing smoking some damn weed back then. And I'm glad that I was so busy playing sports in high school, and I was so busy, you know, with my family and stuff, especially my dad being in the service, going from here to there, traveling, that I never, you know, dove deep into, you know, heavy weed use, drug use, or whatnot anyway, because I was so busy doing other things. But I wanted to share that with you all because, you know, those children, in which they are children, they would have never put that blunt to their mouth if the guy didn't bring it there and persuade them, you know, to hit the damn blunt. And that's very sad that you have an adult there basically, you know, ruining these kids and everything. Give them at least a choice. You know, if it'd be a different story if there was their peers, people around their own age, whether it was, okay, the boy 12, the little girl 14, where you have somebody in there 13 to 15 years old, and they come over there and they probably having the raid their uncle stash box or whatever, they got some weed. That's different. But when you have a grown person offering children, you know, marijuana, you know, to smoke, that's a problem right there. And that was the purpose of the video. So I hope you all understand it. If you want to share some of your first time smoking, please do so. You know, I got many of stories, but like I said, it scared the shit out of me because I'm like, damn, why my heart beating so fast? You know, my heart beating fast right now just thinking about it. It done picked up a pace or two, and I was sweating hard and everything. But when I got that hamburger, man, I must have ate that hamburger in about 30 seconds. It's amazing when you get real high how much you can eat. But anyway, let me know what you all think about this video. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe. Definitely share the video with your weed smoking friends. Until next time, y'all stay blessed. And if you're going to smoke with people around your age. Let children be children and grown-ups be grown-ups. That's the problem we have in this country, in this world right now, is because the grown-ups want to be the kids and the kids want to be the grown-ups, and don't nobody want to play their part. Y'all stay blessed. I'm out.